Hey everybody, thanks for clicking on Liz the One TV. I'm your girl Liz the One. If you're not already subscribed to my channel, go ahead and hit the subscribe button for me. It's free to like the video, so go ahead and like the video for me so that way it can rank in the YouTube algorithm. Also, I know y'all are like, Liz, where you been at? Well, as you can tell by my voice, my nose is a little stuffy. I caught a cold, y'all. I got it from somebody at work. Long story. I was trying to wait, until I got a little bit better, but I can't wait this out anymore. I kind of got to get back to work with this channel. I got so much work to do with it, and we got to gossip like a diva, especially on the power returns, right? So it's 5 episodes left, and it should be called Who Done It. And at this point, it's kind of set up like that in these last couple of episodes from what I see. This particular episode was all about Dre, everything Dre did, and so it's basically who done it, because remember where we left off, everybody was kind of going to the club to see to get Ghost. It was Dre, Tasha, Tommy, Sax, Tariq, and Rodriguez. So we saw all these people heading to the club, and we were wondering who done it. So now I guess we got to go through who done it. So Dre's diabolical behind this episode. It opens up with him singing to his daughter. Like I said, even though he's diabolical, y'all, and he's singing a church song. He said, "Rise and shine, give God the glory, glory." And his baby mama mysteriously appears out of nowhere. I don't know where the hell this heifer came from. Y'all, I'm trying not to cuss. Okay, I'm trying not to cuss because I don't want my video to get demonetized. So I'm going to try, but we're going to see, because some things just kind of irritate me. But this baby mama that we haven't seen, she pops up out of nowhere, and she's British. She has an English accent, and she talks to Dre about wanting to leave New York. And he said that he's not going to London, and she said that she's not talking about London. She's talking about Vegas with her sister. So what's tripping me out is, you're still with this man. He had to have had your daughter taken into protective custody. You weren't with them. But you're still with him. Whatever. Okay. To each his own. Let's just get back to the show. Okay. So it shows on TV that Ghost becomes Walsh's running mate. And then Dre, he went to go see Sax, and Sax looks terrible. He's in a dark house. He claims that he just woke up. He's in a putrid, I can imagine it's a putrid smelling robe. Yeah, he just looks horrible. And he looks like he needs therapy because he's depressed. Now, they didn't say this on there, but he just looks like he's depressed. So I'm just going to throw that in there. So he tells them about this. He tells them all about what he saw on TV, about how Ghost wants to be Walsh's running mate or whatever. And Sax says he's going to fix it. And he says, I got your back. Dre says, I got my back. Okay. Whatever, Dre. See where that's getting you isolated from everybody, but whatever. Okay. So in the next scene, introducing his buddy OZ to the crew, and OZ just got out. I feel sorry for OZ because he just got introduced this episode just to get killed. But let me tell you how OZ got killed. Y'all, pardon my nose. I sound like a sneeze. You know who I sound like? I sound like Phoebe Frisbee with the lace front. I just wanted to throw the lace front on the screen again. Okay, anyway. So, OZ is, he's just there pretty much to get killed. But they make jokes, and he says that, he got out early. He got out for good behavior. They laugh. And then one of his friends, one of Dre's crew's members, gets serious. And he says, "That's BS. Where's the product you owe us?" And Dre says, "I got a better connect." He's no longer with the Serbian BS. And then the Serbians walk in and say, "But we're not done with you." Everybody pulls guns. The Serbians, they just want Dre. And we just want to talk to Dre. And Dre basically, convinces them not to put it down, because as soon as you put your guns down, they're going to kill your ass anyway. See, cuss word 1. Okay. Sorry. I'm going to try to do better. Okay. Gotta try to do better. So, Dre, this cold is getting on my nerves, y'all. But, Dre convinces them not to put it down. He says they're going to kill you anyway. So Dre uses his friend OZ as a shield, It looked like OZ had his back, and he was doing a really good job of protecting Dre until he saw that one guy, and then Dre just shoved him in front of him as a human shield. So we know OZ is dead. I mean, the little acting he did do, like in that quick 3-minute scene, it was nice. But OZ dead, y'all. Damn. But in the process, Dre caught a bullet too, but he managed to make it out. So in the next scene, the baby mama that popped up out of nowhere is pretty much mending his wounds. And they're sitting at the table. And she tells him she's packing her stuff. And the babies, too. I can't do a British accent right now, y'all. So I'm not doing that accent in particular. But I'm just doing a different voice because, yeah. But I can't do a British accent right now because my nose is clogged. And I sound like Frisbee. I sound like I'm using X. So, she tells him that she's packing her stuff and the baby's stuff, and they're basically leaving. And then he snaps, and, nobody's taking my baby, or, nobody's taking Heaven from me. That's the baby's name. Her name is Heaven, which I didn't know. I'm finding out a lot about Dre in this episode. And I have been watching the show, but I don't recall the baby's name being Heaven. I don't recall this British bitch. Damn it, that's cuss word too. Okay, do better. I'm gonna do better. I don't recall this British chick, and I don't recall quite a few things, okay? But she says, then come with us. They need traveling money, and she tells him, where you gotta go to get it, even though he doesn't want to. So Detective Gerbil Jaws, I call her Detective Gerbil Jaws because she's got like this really tight clenched gerbil. Where in the world is Carmen Sandiego? So Detective Gerbil Jaws, whose name is Rodriguez in this, and then I saw her do an interview and she really doesn't sound like that. And mysteriously, she doesn't really look like that either. So she's doing some really good acting, and she's actually prettier in real life. Even though I haven't seen her in real life, but in the interview she was doing, she didn't have that accent. She didn't sound like, and where Mr. Clark has the locks on the doors. She didn't sound like that. She just sounded normal, pleasant. Okay, but anyway, we're going to keep going. So, Detective Gerbil Jaws, she's in the room, 2-bit Spank. She's basically playing mind games with them to get them to flip, and Spank tells her, to look into the murder of a dealer named Pancho, and 2-bit wants a lawyer. So the next scene, we're moving. Dre sees his mother, and he runs up on her, and she thinks that she's being robbed. She's disappointed because she feels like, he could have been something. He has remorse is what it looks like. But in the middle of his monologue, in the middle of his monologue, he mentions wanting to get his daughter out of here. That's when his mom found out about his kid, and she finds out that she's the grandmother. So she quotes Proverbs 13 to him, about a righteous man. And then she asks him, when are you going to stop lying, Andre? And you know how they got to make black women sound like, I don't know how to, when are you going to stop lying, Andre? I don't like the way they be having some older black women sounded on some of these shows, but she's the actress and she acted it out, and it was, she didn't do bad. She did pretty good. She's a good actress, but she asked him, when is he going to stop lying? And she doesn't give him the money, and she walks away. So he goes to Tasha basically to extort her about hanging Tariq over her head because he knows how she feels about her son. So he basically wants $50,000, and he tried to play mind games with her, and she tries to go back at him, but he says, listen, I got it from Ghost, so basically he's having Tariq come up with the money. So in the next scene, Tariq brings Dre some of the money. He says that, he'll get the rest because this was short notice. But he needs a favor, and he says that he needs an untraceable piece, meaning a gun for the slow people that might be watching. He needs an untraceable piece, but Dre wants Tariq to bring him to Ghost. They walk in, and Ghost asks Tariq, why did he bring him the enemy? Tariq is very good. He's a very good actor, and he says that Dad, he knows everything about everything I've done, and he threatened to talk if I don't bring him here. Ghost made Tariq wait out in the hall, Ghost asks what he wanted, and Dre tells him to basically take that bass out of his voice. Basically, Dre explains to him that he knows he tried to frame him for the murder of Jason, but he got away before the police pretty much caught up to him. And he says, but I know it was you who killed him. And Ghost plays dumb because Ghost is a horrible person too, but we already knew that. And so Ghost offers him $250,000. Of course, Dre can't just be happy with that. He wants more. He was telling him, like, your son's life hangs in the balance, blah, blah, blah. And so Ghost convinces him, like, I need an hour. And then Ghost tries to get all self-righteous and stuff. And he says, you lie, you steal, you snitch, and you sell everybody out. And I'm sitting up here looking like, pot? Really? Pot, meat, kettle. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, really? He snitches, he lies, and he sells everybody out. That sounds like you. You don't remember what you did to Tasha, what you did to Tommy. You pretty much screwed everybody over. But Ghost is being self-righteous because he's dead. Now, for anybody that was wondering, he's really dead. He's not going to pop back. We're just playing like a murder mystery at this point with these last 5 episodes of Whodunit. So anyway, Dre leans in after Ghost says, you lie, you steal, you snitch, and you sell everybody out. Dre leaned in and he said, I learned from the best. But they agree that they are going to meet an hour later. So 2-Bit and Spank are in jail talking about who ratted them out. And then they came to the conclusion that it was Dre. So in the next scene, Dre meets with Tate. And Dre wants clean plates and 2 new IDs, for information. And he tells Tate, the police, I'm sitting up here trying to read my notes because I was speeding through this, but he basically tells him that Ghost was responsible for the death of a dirty cop named Raymond Jones. He thinks he's good, talking smooth on the phone with his baby mom, like, yeah, I got money, Ghost ain't as smart as he think he is, and then bam, out of nowhere, all you hear is sirens, and then the police pull up and they arrested him for the murder of Jason. Okay, so apparently, and then like when he gets in the car or whatever, he sees Ghost sitting back in the distance, and Ghost is he must have been a chess player. I don't think I've ever seen him play chess in any of these episodes, but they should have had him play chess in some of these episodes because it would have made sense. He's always ahead of everything everybody wants to do. So anyway, pretty much checkmated him in that scenario. So in the next scene, 2-Bit Spank, and 2-Bit's telling Spank to relax. They just get this cell phone and a call from Ghost, and he wants them to flip on Tommy, and he'll set their families up for life. So turns out their real names are Francis and Spotswood, and they were joking about it in there, and it was pretty funny. Francis and Spotswood, like the hardest G's got like the weakest names. Anyway, so Dre's in jail, and he sees 2-Bit and Spanks, and then he gets called, and Detective Gerbil Jaws, where in the world is Carmen Sandiego Rodriguez? She's pretty much interviewing him, did Ghost kill Silver? And he's like, nah. Or did Ghost tell you that he killed Silver? And he's like, nah, I saw him do it. And then obviously he's lying, but she's so done with the Ghost case. I'm assuming that this is the most work she's ever had to do in her life. So she starts feeding him some of the lines, and he's pretty much getting out. 2-Bit's mad. Spanks tells him basically to calm down. He'll be back, referring to Dre. But Dre's getting out, and they decide to call Tommy. 2-Bit says, I know it wasn't you, but Tommy ain't about to, he's not about to go after Dre. He said, pretty much I'll see you in the next 20. So Dre convinces the FBI to pull over, and they're taking him to a safe house, basically, because when he made that deal about to flip on Ghost, he pretty much... see, I'm saying, I'm trying not to do that, and I'm trying not to say no cuss words, but I just want to say a cuss word. Okay, so he pretty much flip. What the hell am I talking about? Flipping. See, this code is just getting on my damn nerves. Okay, back to my notes. All right, referring to Dre, blah, 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 blah. So he's going to a safe house, and then he convinces the FBI to like pull over because he's got a piss, and they're like, no, because it'll compromise your safety, blah, blah, blah. But you know, Dre is the devil. So they pull over, and then like he convinces the guy to stand back because he wants to take a piss in peace, and then he kind of takes off. So when he takes off, he goes to his mother's house. Like, he finds the key, her spare key, and then he goes up to the room and he goes into her jewelry box. She pulls a gun on him and calls him wicked. And, you know, I agree, he is wicked. And he implies she made him like that because she's always called him wicked every day. And, you know, he's crying like, you know, you call me wicked every day. You know what it reminds me of? What more do you want from me? If I can find that clip, I'm putting it in. But if I can't, you got it from me. Anyway, so he tries the reverse, and then the reverse psychology, and it kind of works. He snatches the gun from her, and he puts it like to her head. Y'all gotta excuse me. My dog is barking. He's gonna shut up at some point. But he reverses it. He puts the gun to her head, and he refuses to forgive her, but he walks out. And he didn't walk out yet. She said, and I want to get this right because I did put this down in quotation marks. She said, I don't know what I did to offend God for him to give me a son like you. Then he puts the gun down from her head, and he takes her jewelry box and walks his ass out to the car. So he sees Tate for the plates and the IDs, but Tate parlays it and says that he'll give him $100,000 for him to kill St. Patrick. And then Dre, he gets the money. Tate ain't worried because he is the only one who knows like the IDs because he knows their new names because he's the one who got them the ID and the plates. So he gets in the car with the baby mama trying to convince him to just, we have everything we need. Let's go. He agrees, but then he has a change of heart. He has this change of heart. So he walks up to he turns, or he does this U-turn in the street first, right? So he walks into the club and he heard a shot already. And then he runs out, and then he sees Detective Gerbil Jaws. And then she was about to say something to him like, oh my gosh, Dre, why are you, something mumbly. But he socks her in the jaw, right? And then Dre and his baby mama argue in the car. Something like he saw something in the alley basically while they were arguing. I didn't get a good look at it, but he's looking down the alley. So he stops at a gas station. He gets gas, some Funyuns, and a stuffed animal for his daughter. I don't know if it was a bear or not, but I know it was a stuffed animal. And then he walks out, he's smiling, he's thinking it's all good. And then bam, his punk ass is surrounded again by the cops. So you know what that means, right? Back to jail. So on the phone with his baby mama, they sitting and they visiting or whatever. And when you visit somebody, you got to pick up the phones or whatever to talk to them. And she was in her British accent, which I cannot do today. She's like, I told you not to go back. And he was like, yeah, I know. But then she said, I had to get help. I had no choice. And in walked his mom, and he's mad. And she says she'll take good care of both of them. She says she still loves him, but in jail is where he belongs. And then the mom, she's pretty much not going to help him get out because she believes that that's where he belongs. And then she says goodbye. And Dre is still trying to convince her, to use her last bit of money to get him out, but she ain't finna do it. And she says, Andre, I'll make sure she grows up the right way, which is another slap in the face because that was pretty much the only person he loved. But I don't really see how, I think maybe it was just selfishness when it came to this because I don't see how you can love your kid if you keep putting your kid in harm's way. Anyway, so 2-bit spank they eating in the cafeteria, and in walks Dre because, Dre had got rearrested. So he sees them and he picks a fight, and then he gets put into solitary because he think he's safe, but it doesn't really help him. So he's in there. And I thought that this would make me feel better, but it kind of made me feel sorry for Dre. I thought that it would be like more poetic. Like maybe the scene would be like they would be outside and somebody shot Dre and it was raining and it was just poetic, like with opera or something in the background. But it didn't happen like that. Dre, he's in solitary confinement and the slot opens and somebody's throwing like wet towels and, you know, washcloths and stuff like that inside. And he kind of sniffs the air a little bit. Then he stands up and then he sees Spank and Two-Bit and he starts pleading, calls for the guard and they squirt lighter fluid on him and set him on fire. So Spank gets out, right? And Two-Bit gets on the cell phone and, you know, he's talking to somebody, but Spank made a deal with, you know, Detective Gerbil Jaws. Where in the world is Carmen Sandiego Rodriguez? I want to throw Hernandez on the end of it, but that'll just make this too long. But he makes a deal with her. And then, you know, he signs to go into witness protection. And he really doesn't want Tommy to know about it. But that's that. And then at the end, in walks Angela's sister. And they're pretty much talking about it. And that's who I did leave out at the beginning, because Angela's sister is who I didn't put on that list of who done it. And she should be on the list of who done it at the beginning. Anyway, that's it. Like I said, like, comment, subscribe, but you know the likes are free, so go ahead and hit that like button for your girl, okay? And I will see y'all on the next one. I got a boatload of stuff coming out, y'all. Sick or not, the show must go on. Peace out.